Colorado.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into your Thursday, February 27th edition of Good Morning Vail. We love getting to be here each and every morning. We've got some great holidays to celebrate today. One of them is National Chili Day, and one of them is National Digital Learning Day. Well, we've got both of those topics covered for you coming up in this show. We're going to introduce you to a fabulous artist that you can go up to the C. Anthony Gallery and meet. His name is James Jensen. And then we're going to talk winter beauty tips. If you're struggling with your skincare routine throughout the winter, well, then we've got you covered here as well. It's all taking place on Good Morning Vail, which starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is sponsored by Grand Hyatt Vail. Escape the cold and embrace the après ski vibes at the Grand Hyatt Spa, where you'll find tranquility rooted in traditional alpine wellness.
Lens of the Day is brought to you by Eyepieces of Vail and Goggle Bar.
I love that jingle because I love getting to talk about ski stuff first thing in the morning to inspire you to get out there and have a great day on the mountain. Well, this morning we're going to talk about the Oakley Line Miner. Now, this is a great goggle because Oakley has a very unique prism system within their lenses, and what this does is allows one goggle to cover a broad spectrum of light. Now, as we take a look at this goggle, you can see that it's going to have that rose-based tint starting in that goggle lens. Then you're going to see those other colors come through. This is the Prism Argon Iridium, and so it's going to have that pink tint to start, which is going to help you see as that light gets a little bit flat, but then you can see those greens, those blues coming through, and that's going to allow you to see while the light is nice and sunny out there. So this is a great goggle. If you're someone who doesn't like to change your goggle lenses, just have one across the board that's going to kind of work in all conditions. It's going to be a little bit dark on those very cloudy, snowy days. This is also an OTG goggle. You can see that cutout right there, allowing your glasses arms to fit into this goggle. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like to ski or snowboard with your glasses, well, then we recommend you go over to see our friends at Eyepieces of Vail, as they've got some great inserts that you can put inside the goggle, and that way you can always see, so you can always ski or ride. Now, we want to thank Eyepieces of Vail for bringing you this Lens of the Day report. If you're making your way out there to enjoy the mountain, make sure that you can see perfectly, that way you can ski perfectly, and to do so, go see our friends at Eyepieces. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners. This is a scooter. Have you had it the whole time?
I have not. It's actually the third time I've owned the car.
Sell, regret, sell, regret. To the actual prototype GT40, I got to sit in that car.
Oh, I gotta get me one of these, man.
We've got all the muscle, the speed, and the stories.
I got stage 4 cancer. A bunch of friends came together and decided that this thing needed to get done then. A lot of friends came together and made this thing happen.
Hey, if it has an engine and a story, you're going to hear about it on rides. Almost every vehicle, doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, there's some tie to your past.
Ready to power up for summer? Whether you hike, bike, golf, or just want to feel great, get ready for summer with Mountain Recreation. Sign up for our Power Up for Summer promo and get 4 personal training sessions, a nutrition consultation, and exclusive recovery group access, all for $250 at the Gypsum Rec Center. Register by March 24th for April sessions at mountainrec.org or the Gypsum Rec Center front desk. Mountain Recreation. Active, healthy, together.
Good morning, Vail.
Today is National Chili Day. Well, we've got a fabulous chef here who makes some delicious food for us. So we're going to head into the kitchen with Kim and she's going to make us some amazing chili.
We're in the kitchen, and this time we're cooking up my recipe.
Yes.
Well, a version of it. This is a kind of a combination of what I like to make, but also with a good base from lots of Googling on the internet. But Ross, we are in the kitchen today,
Yes.
and we are making turkey chili. I feel like this is like a practice run.
Okay.
You know, here we go. It's cold outside. We're making chili for the chilly temperatures. So we're making a turkey chili, which is really great. And typically you can do it in one pot, but we want to show you all the steps by step. So we've got a skillet here as well as a main pot to cook everything in.
Cool.
Yeah. So have you made chili before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has their own like secret recipe or way that they've done it for years, but this is a really easy basis for it. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. So it starts with 1 pound of ground turkey, and I like to use the 99% lean because you don't really want too many excess juices, because as it simmers, it kind of liquefies and everything melds together towards the end. So if you want to get started on browning our ground turkey,
We're going.
I've got a really fun kitchen gadget. I don't even know how to talk about this because it is a multi-use tool, but this is my favorite way to chop vegetables. You literally just put it in the middle and then you just press down on it. So we've got some pre-cut onions already. We're gonna go ahead and just put this on here and just push it down nice and easy. It gathers everything, it keeps it clean. It's just one of my favorite kitchen tools to use by far. It actually also turns into a mandolin, but we don't need to worry about that today. So we've got red peppers, we've got 1 whole onion, 1 red pepper, and then also some diced garlic. And this is the basis of our, I guess you could say, of like the vegetable flavors that usually are within chili, but sometimes I like to add a lot of extra vegetables, but we're just going to keep it simple today.
There's no wrong way to make a chili.
There really isn't.
Whatever you choose, it's going to be great.
It is absolutely true. So I've got 1 whole onion here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add this onion to my pot. So we've already heated it up with about a tablespoon of olive oil just to get things sizzling, and nothing sounds better to me than hearing a sizzle in the kitchen. But we're getting all of that going, and you want your vegetables to kind of cook down for about five-ish minutes or so before we add the turkey in. And you really have a choice of seasoning your turkey however you want to. So we've got lots of different seasonings here. We've got chili powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, a little bit of cumin if you wanted to throw that in there. And it's just kind of to taste. You know, you can follow a recipe, but I say the best meals are made with love and not measurement.
That's it. That's it.
That's so true. But this is a really great weeknight meal to throw together. You can freeze it. It freezes really well. And we are just making a mess over here in the kitchen.
What was that?
I think I knocked over the hot sauce, which is a key element, in my opinion, to the chili. So are you a spicy chili kind of guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I like to put the jalapenos in it at the end.
Oh, that
Got a
sounds
nice kick.
delicious. All right, so we've got all of our vegetables chopped. And Ross, next to you, we've got 3 cloves of garlic minced in this little Tupperware right here.
Lovely.
So we're just kind of mixing everything together. The flavors, if you could smell the flavors in here, it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's morning.
Coming together.
It is coming together. Those onions are sizzling down. We're cooking it for about 5 minutes. Same with the red peppers, but they don't have to be fully cooked down because everything is just going to continue to melt together as you let it sit on the stove for about 30 minutes minimum, 45 if you really want the good flavors. But we're just over here doing a lot of cooking. So, you know, we've got the big football game coming up with the NFL.
Right.
You know, this is a really great thing to make. You know, if you don't want to do a bunch of football appetizers, you can just throw a pot of chili together. And smells great, looks great. People's bellies will be filled. It's wonderful. So what do you like to put in your chili typically?
So yeah, I like the hot stuff, but I'm definitely kind of a peppers and onions guy.
Okay.
And then definitely I'm a big bean guy. So like I love chili because it's all of that put together, right?
Right. So I'm on the right track, is what you're telling
It's
me?
looking great, yeah, looking great. And then what I love to do is chili's so great left over, right? So you can just heat it up either later in the day or the next day and get a nice warm meal.
And it's one of those meals where you don't get sick of eating it multiple days in a row. This to me is a staple in the wintertime. I'll usually make a big pot and then throw half of it in the freezer and then eat the rest of it throughout the week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it just smells so good. You can see that these onions are starting to really start to melt down a little bit and become a little bit more translucent.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just softening it all up because we'll throw that ground turkey in here. And then we just continue to add things. So outside of the ground turkey, we've got all the spices. We're cooking everything down. Now, I have a secret recipe that I like to do, but typically you would start with 2 cans of 14 ounces of diced tomatoes, or you can do crushed tomatoes if you want it to be a little bit more, I guess you could say like blended or less chunky. That's a good way to do it. So we've got 2 cans of diced tomatoes, which we can go ahead and add those in here. And so while you stir that, well, if you wouldn't mind passing me the tomatoes, Ross.
Here is one tomato for you, and I'll get the other one going for you.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and pop these open here, and we're just going to dump it into the pot. So easy as that. I like to use no salt added so that I can add as much or as little seasoning as I want to the mix. I think it just adds a little bit. You know, we've got sodium and everything that we eat most of the time anyways. So we've added those in there, and then I've got 1 can of dark red kidney beans. Now we've already pre-washed and drained the can so that we can just dump it right into the pot here. So we've got the base of all of our vegetables in the mix here. So we've got 1 red pepper, 1 whole onion, some garlic, about 3 cloves of garlic tossed in there, 2 14-ounce cans of diced tomatoes, and 1 can of kidney beans. So looking good. We've got that in there, and you're working on the turkey. And the best part is we can literally just take that pan and dump it in here.
Love it.
It's so simple. Throw the pan into the sink when you're done, and we can wash everything afterwards. So it can be a 1-pan meal, but we wanted to kind of show you all the different things. So one of the things that I like to do, though, I have a secret ingredient.
All right, what is it?
I love to put apple cider vinegar in mine, and then to make this a little bit, to give it a little bit more of an acidic flavor.
Okay, cool.
And then to add a little bit more texture and consistency, I add a little bit of tomato sauce as well.
Oh,
So those are my 2 secrets.
I was wondering what we were doing with the marinara over do.
You know, we're making a little bit of pasta too.
Love it.
Is there anything, like, what do you typically put in yours as well?
Not apple cider vinegar, no.
Well, it gives it a nice, like, citrus, a nice acidic taste to it. I know that the tomato does have that, but it adds a little bit of extra, plus some Worcestershire.
Yeah.
That's a fun word to say.
Yeah.
So I like to just kind of throw everything in there and then taste as we go. So let's go ahead and dump the,
Ready for it?
yeah, we'll go ahead, turn off the stove, which is a big important thing to do. Then we're just gonna dump this in here, so you don't even have to drain it. You know, I love to have the extra juices added in there. There we go. Looks delicious, smells delicious. You know, we heard all of the sizzling kitchen sounds, which we love here. And then we're just gonna stir this around. And you can see we've got a bunch of different flavors we can throw in. So Worcestershire, it's always hard to say. You can measure it, you know, like a teaspoon if you want to, but I just kind of put, you know, 5 or 6 dashes in. And
5 or 6 dashes.
5 or 6.
1, 2, 3,
I won't-
4,
I
5,
won't
6, 7, 8,
count.
9, 8.
That's my favorite.
6. That was 6.
We throw that in there, and then the apple cider vinegar. So we have a little bit here, as you can see. But this one, I would say you'd be a little bit more. I do maybe a tablespoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a tablespoon?
Maybe a tablespoon. So we're going to estimate this is about a tablespoon. And it just gives it some added extra flavor. And we'll just stir it up there, and you can just smell all the flavors coming together. And it's just, to me, it's like frosting a cake. You just layer everything. It starts to like look really good, and you add it as you feel like it. And then another thing that I like to add in there is actually some chicken bouillon.
Okay.
It gives it a little bit more spice. If I can get it open here, we add a little bit of chicken bouillon. If you have the cubes, I'll add 1 or 2 cubes to my chili. But with this one, we'll probably throw about a tablespoon of the powdered version in it as well. That's where it gives a little bit of extra sodium, a little extra flavor. You just kind of mix it together. And one of the most important ingredients, chili powder.
Yes.
So you cannot forget to add that chili powder into the mix. You usually do about 2 tablespoons of that. Or you just throw it in as you feel like it. And a little bit of chicken bouillon. And then the last piece that we're going to add about a cup of the chicken broth. And then depending on what it looks like, we'll throw a little bit more of the tomato sauce in there. So that's kind of an as needed basis. So yeah, it's got a lot of different things in it, but you know, it's really however you feel like feeling it. So I'm going to let you go ahead and pour that. I'll tell you
Oh
when.
yeah, this looks like about a cup.
Okay, you can dump it even faster. Looks great. Okay, that's good for me. And then we'll add that tomato sauce right at the very end. And it's just going to be great. We'll leave it here. We'll let it all simmer together, and then we'll come back and check on it later. It's going to be delicious.
So easy.
So easy. You just throw everything in a pot. Now stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging on to our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Morgan. I'm with Ron Byrne & Associates. And today, I'd like to welcome you to Mine House and Mi Casa, a premier bed and breakfast right here at the base of Beaver Creek Mountain. Let's go inside.
This property is currently being run as a bed and breakfast with 20 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms. Right now we are standing in Mi Casa, and next door we also have Mine House. A wonderful opportunity to own a turnkey hospitality business, but it's also an opportunity to own it as a private residence. It can be sold all as one or in individual pieces, however you choose.
So now that we've had a chance to show you these 2 amazing properties, Mi Casa and Mine House,
we would love the opportunity to show you in person. Give us a call.
Coming at you from around the world. The biggest names in sports, entertainment, and business.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way.
Exclusive access and one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, you guys really did some deep research.
I don't think we should give him any more information.
In depth with Graham Bensinger.
TVA Vail is proud to announce the Wacky Winter Reading Program. We're asking children of all ages, K and even the teenagers going up to 12th grade, read 10 books or 1,000 pages by April 30th, 2025. You can find all the details on our website, tva-vail.com. Thank you to our sponsor, the lovely Eagle Valley Library District, where you can go pick up your book and have a great time. Have a great winter from your friends at TVA Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Today is also Digital Learning Day, and there's a great program that you can use with your kiddos at home, and it's called Elephant Learning. Well, we had the opportunity to get all the information, and we can't wait to share it with you.
Now, welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I am honored to be joined here on the couch because this is a very, very important topic. And with the rise of the COVID pandemic and before, kids are falling behind in their education, specifically in math, because they don't understand why they need to use it. And joining me today is Dr. Aditya Nagrath, who is the founder of Elephant Learning. How are you?
Hi, great. Thank you
Awesome.
for having me.
So I mentioned, with the COVID pandemic, it's really, I think, heightened and highlighted education, and specifically around mathematics. And you are such an impressive person. And so how did you decide to come up with Elephant Learning?
Yeah, well, so we came up with Elephant Learning because we had done some research and we had found out that 4 out of 5 students start kindergarten unprepared for the kindergarten curriculum. And this happens completely along income lines. And the reason why is because the top 20% earners are able to send their children to preschool. And in preschool, they ensure that they meet the standard for counting to 10. But ultimately, that's what we learned, is that students were coming in and they didn't really understand counting to 10. And that was because that there's this gap between what the parent thinks counting to 10 is and what the standards say counting to 10 is.
And, starting at such a young age and not being comfortable with that, it creates anxiety. So talk to me about mathematic anxiety and how it is a very much real thing.
Yeah, so like the stem of the mathematics anxiety is this idea of understanding that language of mathematics. So we focus on teaching the mathematics of language, or sorry, the language of mathematics. And so like when you don't understand the teacher and you're trying to just get through and get to the next level, whatever that is, anxiety starts to form because it looks like everyone around you understands this and you're supposed to know it, but like there's like this imposter syndrome starting to form. And it's kind of maybe the basis of where it all comes from.
Yeah, you don't want to let your teacher down. And then on top of that, you want to seem like you're keeping up with everybody in the classroom. So then that anxiety just starts to compound as you get older and you learn more and you move through the school system and the curriculum. Now, Elephant Learning, very impressive. So you have a background in computer programming. You learned the C++ language at the age of 14.
Yeah.
So naturally, you moved into this application development process. So what inspired it? How did you create Elephant Learning? Tell me all about it.
Sure. What we inherited was a program that was funded by the National Science Foundation and partly by the Toyota Foundation. And it had activities for 4 and 5-year-olds. These activities help demonstrate the concepts to the students. So like think about it like teaching the colors. You have to show a student red things, and then they have to infer that red refers to the color. So you show them a red truck, a red ball, a red whatever, and you're labeling it red truck, red ball, etc. So they learn that red refers to the color. In the same way like we teach the quantities, it's same thing that parents would do. How many fingers am I holding up? Or can you give me 6 things? And then from there, we teach them the operations. And again, they have to kind of live with it. So like, give me 5 things, give me 4 more things. How many do I have now? It's the idea of 5 plus 4. So through these activities, they actually learn the language of mathematics, and then they understand the teacher better in the classroom because they have a experience or a reference point to think back to when they look at the written mathematics.
And so, oftentimes with math, you're just doing it, you're executing it, and that's it. You don't think about the why or whatnot. And so through your program, you're able to kind of appreciate and initiate that conversation as well.
Yeah, so like the real thing that they're getting out of it is this ability to see, when do I use these operations to solve problems? And that's what's most important, because if you've memorized your multiplication tables, but you can't use multiplication to solve a real life problem or a word problem, then multiplication is absolutely useless to you. Even if you're memorizing the mnemonic, right? In real life, when the multiplication problem shows up, you don't have a mnemonic.
Yeah.
So really, we make math useful for the student.
Yeah, so speaking of students, how many students have worked through your program? You've been in business 7 years, so very impressive. Tell me all about it.
So over the last 7 years, we've had over 150,000 students go through our system. We ran a research study on 56,000 students, and what we found was that on average, they learned 1.67 years of math over the course of 13 weeks. They used it just under 40 minutes per week. Our initial study had them learning about 1.5 years of math over the course of 10 weeks, using it just under 30 minutes per week. So those numbers, they basically line up. So we're reproducing the experiment over and over again.
And that's great. And so you mentioned 1.5 years of math, so that just boosts them 1.5 years up into the grade level that they should be, or maybe above if they're doing really well.
Right. Well, we focus on the essential topics. Yeah. And yeah, when you teach it as a language, they're able to pick it up a little bit faster. They might not be able to execute the operations with fluency, is what they call it, like speed, right? But they're able to execute it. So that's, in modern society, that's like better, because you can always pull out a calculator and you could always execute it if you could figure out which are the operations that you need to run. But then ultimately, yeah, again, we actually make the math useful to the student because they're able to use it.
So Dr. Adita, tell me about the rise of smartphones. People are relying on their smartphones for any kind of answers, so mathematic calculations specifically. I love the idea that you have an app and you're able to teach people. So what are you seeing from a kid's perspective? How many kids, what's the average age? Do you feel like they're learning a little bit better? Tell me more.
Right, so we cover from counting through algebra, and we've had students of almost all ages, because if you're struggling with upper level mathematics, typically there's a misconception in algebra or earlier. The average age might be 7 or 8 years old, but that's because the range is wide. And I think that the most amazing thing is that we have students that come in, they don't like mathematics, they don't like math in the classroom. And then they use our system, and then after being able to understand what's happening in the classroom, now mathematics is engaging to them because they're able to participate in the classroom. The games themselves, again, there are activities that are demonstrating the concepts, like give me 5 things, give me 4 more things, how many do I have now? Or, for multiplication, we have rows or groups of items. So each group has 7, and you can see there's 4 groups. How many things do we have? And there's curtains that ensure that they just can't count them up.
Oh, good.
So
good.
What we do then is that these activities, they're not really hiding the math, but they feel like a puzzle game to the student, and a lot of students start to engage with it.
And it really just increases their confidence in the classroom. I love that.
Yeah, and it builds problem-solving skills, and then also it builds intuition into this idea of induction. So that's the idea that what's true on smaller numbers is also true on larger numbers. So that's what we do, is we go through the operations and we kind of start with small numbers, and we may move them up so that they see it working through small to larger numbers.
Great. So talk to me about parent involvement in elephant learning. Where can they go for more information? How do they get involved in making sure that their kids are really learning and utilizing your tools?
Sure.
Yeah.
So for the parent, we have these dashboards, and the dashboards tell the parent what the student's working on, where there might be struggles, so if they needed to focus, they could. And also what activities you could be doing outside of the system to reinforce those same ideas. When we determine that they're ready for fluency with addition or multiplication, we might give you card games to play so that you're multiplying and you're building that speed and that memorization. But after they've understood it, so they understand why they're doing it. But basically, to get started, they could just go to elephantlearning.com. You put in your email address, and that's the way to get started. From there, you can download an app onto the tablet of the student. But yeah, everything's available basically through website and through app.
Awesome. Now, I think it's so important, and it's a great way to bond with your child too. So I love that you have a parent side of it that can really make sure that things are happening.
We have coaching videos that show like how could you work with the student. We typically recommend the why method, and we give this out for free. So I've said this on podcasts before, but basically what it is you let the student answer incorrectly, and then you ask them, why do you think that's the right answer? So it's kind of like asking them to show their work. But like for kind of the younger students, the why is around the language. So when the student tells you why, you're going to be able to see what is it that they don't understand and what is the language you need to clarify, or if you just need to give them a hint so that they get that aha moment.
I love that. So talk to me about the results. What results
Sure.
are you seeing?
Yeah, well, on average, again, students are learning years of mathematics over the course of several months, using it just 10 minutes a day, 10 to 20 minutes a day. And I mean, they go into the classroom, they feel more confident, they start to say that I actually do enjoy math class, they start to see the usefulness of math in everyday life, they start talking about it with their parents. So like, yeah.
It's just a great, so 1.5 years, they can increase it in about 12 to 13 weeks.
Yeah.
Their knowledge base is great.
Yeah,
Really.
again, we focus on the essential topics as a language. The goal was, can I get them to understand the teacher in the classroom so that we could fill that gap? Because what we did see was that over time, the education system in America works for those top 20% income earners. And this makes sense because if you came into the education system able to understand the teacher, then the education system is effective. So then the question is how can we make it effective for everyone?
Yeah, how can you provide supplemental income that's, or not income, but supplemental education that's fun?
Right.
Absolutely.
Supplemental education that could then make it so that when they participate in the classroom, it's useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Now, tell us where we can go for more information and find out any other details that we need to know.
Sure. Everything's on our website, elephantlearning.com. If you find us on Facebook, you can DM us. I think Instagram also works. But yeah, like just contact us, email us at support@elephantlearning.com. We're happy to answer any questions, but almost everything's on our website.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Aditya, thank you so much for coming on the show. I love your passion and your knowledge. It's so impressive to see the research that you put into this and just the passion you have to help elevate education and the school system. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now stay tuned. We have a lot more here on this next episode, so we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Discover the perfect blend of style and performance in your eyewear at Eyepieces. With convenient locations in Vail Village, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, Edwards, Basalt, and Snowmass, Eyepieces is the destination for luxury eyewear and high-performance optics. From iconic brands to the latest in sport frames and snow goggles, we have the eyewear to match your mountain lifestyle. Plus, we offer prescription lens services, including eye exams, custom lenses, and prescription goggles for your mountain adventures. Visit us today to experience the art of vision. Eyepieces, serving the Vail Valley's vision needs for over 40 years.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Ooh. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Are you looking to spice up your career life? Well, then TV8 Vail is looking for some part-time hosts. There's no better way to start your morning than here with the TV8 and Good Morning Vail team. You can email your resumes to Danielle@tv8vail.com, and that way you can be part of the fun.
Good morning, Vail.
Last winter, we had the opportunity to interview James Jensen, an incredible artist up at the C. Anthony Gallery, in front of some of his beautiful pieces. Well, he's making his way back to Beaver Creek, so he'll be there today and tomorrow for you to go up, see his work, and enjoy. Now, he's one of those artists that had learned the traditional style. He's a master artist, but now he does these beautiful contemporary abstract pieces. So make your way up to the C. Anthony Gallery today and tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. That way you have the opportunity to introduce yourself to James Jensen, but we're going to do that right now. Welcome back to the show. We're going to introduce you to another incredible artist, and that's James Jensen, who you can see up at the C. Anthony Gallery all weekend long. James, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Great. It's good to be here.
Oh, we love having you here because I love picking your creative brain. You have such a unique expression behind each and every one of your pieces. And so let's talk about how your career has transpired from doing these beautiful still lives to this very fun contemporary abstract.
It has been a journey. It's been quite a long adventure of going from realist painting over to contemporary realism, and then abstract, and now these wonderful, complicated, you can kind of see it behind me, where they have a lot of graphic quality and vibrant color, a lot of movement. So they're really exciting.
A lot of movement. And what transpired as your career transpired to push you away from that traditional style and more into this contemporary abstract style?
I think I was restless. As an artist, it's kind of easy to stick in one area, but then you're curious about working in a different way. And so you want to trust your skills and everything you've done up to a point, and then take a leap and see if it works. That's a daring, adventurous part of being an artist.
And your work has definitely worked for you. Now, you have talked about this movement that you have in your new pieces, and there's definitely this ribbon-like form that you kind of see throughout a lot of the collections that you're doing right now. And so let's talk about what inspired this ribbon.
It's it's a play on graphics and geometry, and then some little tricks up the sleeve of hiding dimension and depth. But even though they're very strong, they're uplifting. They're playful, and they make you scratch your head a minute and just wonder what's going on in the painting. And there's a lot going on. So you have to, as an artist, we have to trust our sense of editing and storytelling. But they do have a real set of kind of whimsical roller coaster ride.
And your work is so unique because there's so many different layers to it. So you have your paint, and then you have your gold and silver leaf, and then you have your resin. And so when you're creating a painting, how long does it take you from start to finish?
Some parts are very quick, and you can just see by the way the paint is laid down that there's an excitement with the paint and the way it's applied. Sometimes when you work quickly, it's exciting. But having said that, I layer a lot of paint, and that takes a long time. Everything has to dry. You're really aware of the different layers. So the answer is Some parts are very quick, and then you let it evolve at the pace that it needs to.
Which I think is so important, and I think that makes your pieces so unique, because as you're diving into them, you can find these perfect little color moments that you can resonate with so deeply, and then you can step back and see all of the colors that bring this piece to life, and all of that movement, and all of the emotion that these colors really evoke. So now, as you're picking your colors to create these pieces, what's kind of going through your head?
I'm not afraid of color. Color is a big impact, not just for me, but for the viewer. Color, people react emotionally to color. So I have a strong use of color and materials. So what's hard for me to do is to tone it down, because I love vibrant, strong color. And sometimes my wrestling match is to have some areas that are calm and some parts that have some repose, so the strong areas can really have impact.
Which I think is one of those things that people don't necessarily fully understand when they're looking at abstract art, on the intention behind what you've created and how perfectly you've kind of cultivated these colors to be together to evoke that emotion. Now, we've previously spoken where we've had a great interview and we talked about the color red, and I think that you have such a strong stance on the color red. So I would love to reshare that opinion and that view with our viewers.
I should be banned from using red, but I love it. It's just, there's so much red in the paintings, but red is, once again, it grips people. It grips me. It's a daring color. It's uplifting, but it also can be a little angry, but I think it's just saturatingly beautiful. And so you will see a lot of red and orange. Primary colors, I really circle around. They just have so much honest fortitude, and that's kind of my color palette.
Which I think is so powerful, because as I look at the piece behind you and I'm just getting little tidbits behind your head, anytime you use the color yellow throughout your pieces, it captivates me, because yellow is one of those colors that I resonate with sunflowers and sunshine and my family. And so to see that yellow immediately, that's always my favorite moment in every one of your pieces.
Yellow is the little crowning moment in paintings. I save it for the end as that final icing on the cake. It's just like you said. It's a happy color, and it kind of dominates over everything in my painting. And ends up with a little dash of yellow or gold, and that's just the little cherry on the top.
Which is so wonderful to see, because when you look at your paintings, people can resonate not only with the colors, but the movement and all of that different spice almost that they bring, because they do have all of those colors that really, really force you to take a step back. And one of the most incredible parts about your work is people can spend an abundance of time just admiring one piece.
I'm glad you point that out. Even though they look very impactful at the beginning, when you first see them up close, there's a lot of delicate areas, a lot of little places to linger. So they're not just a one-note strong painting. They have a beautiful story, and it does ask you to maybe not try to figure it out, because they're complicated, but there's areas that are just joyful and mysterious.
And I love that. I love the mystery behind each and every one of your paintings. You have a great painting that you're showing at C. Anthony Gallery right now titled Riddle. And it is a spectacular piece for people to come and enjoy and really spend some time with each element that they see in it, from the dripping paint to that center where you kind of see that little globe figure that's in there that really makes you kind of evoke that curiosity in your brain.
I couldn't say it better. That's very well observed. I want people to be compelled to look at the painting. Once again, it may not be a story that's answered. There's so much going on. It's almost like a snapshot into something moving beautifully and strongly and just frozen. And you get to look at all of this commotion in one frozen moment.
And as people are looking at your paintings and they're kind of absorbing all of these delicate moments to all of these very loud and upfront moments, what is something that you hope everyone kind of takes away from them?
Contemporary art, modern art, abstract art sometimes is always holding hands with kind of maybe a dark, urban, a kind of forceful message. Mine, even though they are strong, they're very uplifting. I think there's a happiness with the paintings, and the joyful part should linger. I think people are uplifted by the paintings.
I can say that every time I have the opportunity to see any of your work, it is one of those moments of solace for me, because I can spend an hour with one painting and look at the different colorations. Because of the way you layer them, you do have these moments. And going back to Riddle, there's this brushstroke moment that has these deep purples and these light pinks and this white that really is mixed together in these very unique brushstrokes, and you can captivate yourself there in that moment, whether it resonates a sunset with you or a dress that you love to wear. It all has that delicacy that you were talking about earlier, and I think that's so beautiful, because what a unique way to bring that out of people.
Well, that's wonderfully observed. I could only hope that more people have that response. So that's beautifully worded, Maddie. Thank you.
Of course, and thank you for taking the time to chat with me, giving us all this great information. Now, if you have inspired a young artist somewhere to maybe dabble in the world of contemporary abstract, what is one piece of advice you would give them?
I would say trust that voice deep down that got you started in the first place. It's easy to be impacted by others, but a young artist, there's a calling, there's a voice. You got to keep a hold of that and see it through and enjoy the whole art world, but stay true to that voice that's guiding you always.
And do you think that a young James Jensen would be amazed at the progress he's made with his art and how it's transpired over the years?
Well, I didn't see all this coming, and the adventure and the journey is soulful. Artists have to be a little selfish in this adventure. It starts with our core. And so it's a wild ride, I'll say that.
It is a wild ride, and to see the progression of your artwork is always so fascinating, because there's a great quote that you have to learn all the rules before you can break them, and I feel like your art shows just that.
Again, very nice choice of wording. Thank you.
Of course, of course. James, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and giving us all this great information. People can come up to Beaver Creek and see you over the course of the weekend.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Make sure that you make your way up to See Anthony Gallery this weekend, because there's going to be so many incredible artists for you to meet, to learn about, and the See Anthony Gallery is one of the biggest representations of art in our community, and so it's a great place to go and explore and really enjoy some time with some incredible artists just like James Jensen. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
The season starts when Nate Dogg, Trailer Tom, and friends have started the season in front of you.
There it is, the white ribbon of living.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And on that very first chair, two very familiar faces who've been in line for 2 days.
My name is Nate Dogg, Nate Dogg.
My name is Trailer Tom.
Nate Nadler and Tom Miller live nearby.
I feared nothing but not getting first chair.
Second chair nightmare.
Yeah, second chair nightmare.
My goal is to continue to fight for this first chair as long as I'm physically able. first chair coming at us one more year.
Tune into Coffee with America and start your day in the right direction, where we go over the latest and greatest in health, lifestyle, entertainment, and more. Start your day off on Coffee with America.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to focus on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals. Now check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Good morning, Vail.
Are you struggling with your skincare routine this winter? Well, we've got some great winter beauty tips with lifestyle expert Joanne Butler. Let's hear what she has to say.
Oh, hi, thanks for having me. You know, we were just at the SAG red carpets last night, and it was all about beautiful, glowing skin. And everyone knows the key to getting that is, you know, eating right, exercise, good sleep, and a good skincare routine. It's just everything, especially this time of year. So I always look for a little extra hydration, and I am loving this from Biossance. It's their new Plump and Hydrate set. It's 4 products, their best-selling cleanser, serum, eye and face cream, that all work together to plump and lift your skin. And each of these are powered by sugarcane derived squalane, which is this like bioengineered superpower that mimics the moisture in your skin and actually boosts the absorption of other skincare agents by 40 times. So it's just amazing stuff. You can also feel good about using it. It's vegan, pregnancy safe, and it's just $59 exclusively at Sephora and Sephora.com. And it retails for more than $83, so this is really a steal right now, so get your hands on it. Now, once your skincare is in check, my little secret to get a great glow is this, Milk Makeup's Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I'm so happy to have it because it just launched and there's a 12,000 person wait list for it. It's just this beautiful, super weightless gel formula that leaves you with a smooth, hydrated glow. It has hyaluronic acid and vitamins that give you even more of a hydration boost by 24% actually. And it won't fade or crease or settle into your lines, and it helps your makeup do the same, you know, so it just gives you the smooth canvas. It comes in 15 buildable shades, up to 12 hours of coverage. It's clean, non-comedogenic, and it's just $36 at milkmakeup.com and Sephora.com, and in Sephora stores starting February 28th. So definitely get your hands on this if you can. Get on that list. Now, what else we saw on the red carpets? Eyeshadow back big time. This is Lukita Maxwell from Shrinking. Just love her. Lots of color all the way up to the brow, so the eyes have it. Metallic, smoky pastels, any color goes. Also, beautiful, bold red lips. So pretty simple, nice bold red lip, beautiful eye color, and of course, perfect skin.
Good morning, Vail.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
TV8 Vail is expanding its distribution, and we want you to be the first to know. You can now find TV8 and our all-Spanish live stream Conecta en Vivo on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Search the channel store for TV8 Vail and Conecta en Vivo on your device and add them to your list of favorite channels. And as always, you can continue to live stream on our website at tv8vail.com or find us on Spotify. At home or on the go, you'll never miss a minute of your favorite local programs on TV8.
Good morning, Vail.
We want to thank you so much for tuning into your Thursday edition of Good Morning Vail. Please make your way up to the St. Anthony Gallery and introduce yourself to the wonderful James Jensen and the entire team up there. Step into the kitchen, make some delicious chili with Kim, introduce your kids to elephant learning, and always tune in each and every morning to Good Morning Vail because there's always wonderful information that we can't wait to share with you. I've been your host, Maddie Evans, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
TV8, there's more for you on 92. Serving the local community.